So as followers of Jesus, we must embrace Friday's death before we can celebrate Sunday's resurrection. Now, some people wonder if Jesus knew about the crucifixion, if he would be crucified. While he may not have known about the cross as an infant on that Christmas morning, by the age of 30, Jesus became clear in his focus that the cross would be his defining work. He also let his disciples, those who would follow him. Family, we're disciples. We follow Jesus. I'm a Christ follower. So he let us know that the cross would also be a defining thing for our own faith. He shares this in Matthew 16. Then Jesus told his disciples, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. As we hear these words from Jesus, we often think of the expressions, that is my cross to bear, or that is my cross to carry. Now, that while those may seem like they apply, this is not what Jesus was referring to. When Jesus said to take up your cross, he wasn't saying that, oh, you know what, you're supposed to endure a difficult relationship, or, oh, you're supposed to endure a thankless job, or, oh, you are to endure and just bear this illness or this diagnosis. See, the cross that Jesus is speaking of is one thing. It's death. That Jesus is saying that we are to take up our cross, that we are to take up our death and to follow him each and every day. And so we are to take that up with joy, because here's the reality. Before we identify with the resurrection of Christ on Easter, we have to identify with the death of Christ on Good Friday. When I gave my life to Christ in August of 1993, a long time ago now, I used to say, man, I've lived most of my life not knowing Jesus, then knowing Jesus. Now it's kind of on the flip side because I'm aging, all right? But it's all good. But when I gave my life to Christ in August of 93, Brian Myers died that day. That was the end of my life. And in August, that is the month where I took up my cross to follow Jesus. Daily, I remind myself, it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. That old Brian, he's gone, and thank God, I don't want that guy coming back. You don't want him coming back. Before Christ's resurrection on Sunday, have you celebrated death on Friday? Have we said goodbye to those old patterns of sin that not just bring destruction to your life, but bring collateral damage to those around you? Family, there is sin in my past as a pastor that I thank God was crucified with Christ. I don't cling to it. I don't find my identity in it. My identity is in Christ. And for me, when Christ died, I died too. As a follower of Jesus, I identify with Jesus' death so that I also might identify with his resurrection. You can't have one without the other, and this is what makes Good Friday good. So where are you? Have you encountered the cross on Friday? Have you said, you know what? I am no longer going to live this life for me. I'm going to live this life for Christ, that I am dead, so that way I might experience the power of the resurrection on Sunday. Because if you don't encounter the cross on Friday, you will remain stuck on the bad news of Friday and never experience the good news of Sunday.